Hey everybody, welcome back to RTTN Creative Culture. This is Savannah, and today LeBron Arnwine is here to talk with us about what it's like being a music director and how to engage in creative culture with your team. So thanks for joining us today, LeBron. So we're just gonna start off with you describing a little more in detail what your role is exactly in the RTTN worship department.
So I am the musical director here, and specifically my role is to handle all things musical. Pastor Tobin and JoJo, they are our worship pastors, so they're like the visionaries for our department. You know, they bring songs, material, this is what the Lord is saying, this is what we're going to be doing. And so then it's my responsibility to how can I accompany the word and the song musically, still make it our own. We are a very dynamic church. We have moments that can be running around the building, and we have moments that can be laying on our face, which is beautiful. So it's my responsibility to how can we capture that musically to help support what's going on in the room and set the atmosphere musically, those types of things. But on a more, strategic level would be, I make sure charts are posted for our players to be able to read, and tracks are there to be able to hear and listen, and the MP3s are up. Communication, everything on our planning center, which is the platform we use where everybody comes to and gets all the information, songs, what songs we're doing, what day, when you're scheduled, those types of things. Scheduling our team out, handling band sound checks and communication with our tech, front of house people, media people, to how we can make it all run smooth and make it musical at the same time. And, so that's in a nutshell the responsibility that I have. That's just ultimately to support our music pastors. They are the visionaries. I'll make it happen the best I can.
Well, it definitely sounds like you do a lot. A lot of things fall under that umbrella. What would you say is probably the most challenging part of your position?
Wow, the most challenging part, I guess, would be to be able to understand and discern what's happening in the atmosphere in a church service. Me as a musical director, I have to be locked in to everything happening at all times. What does it benefit the body if Pastor Kevin, he is the pastor, he's about to give the spoken word of the Lord. But if he's having just his own worship moment and is just, it's great to watch, but the spoken word isn't going forth. So me sitting there just watching him have his moment, so for me, if I'm just having my own moment playing and Pastor Tobin calls the chorus and I miss it, it's going to be a train wreck. You know what I mean? So my responsibility is to be locked into everything happening on the platform. I'm watching them. I'm watching Pastor Kevin. I'm watching everybody while simultaneously feeling the atmosphere, what is needed here in this moment, because there's moments where there's no singing, there's nobody speaking, no nothing. What is it? It is my responsibility to not take away or to bring the attention to what musically is happening, but to create an atmosphere for people to still be able to worship and engage, and it be an undergirding, like a boost to worship, as opposed to like, oh man, they're playing a nice chord over here. So that responsibility can be a challenge. What's the word going forth? What's being said? What is happening in the room? Are people getting healed? Are people getting set free? People getting saved? You know what I mean? I think salvation is like triumphant. It's like, glory to God, the angels are rejoicing. So the sound, what does that sound like in the room to celebrate? And if it's a deep worship moment, if it's, what does that look like? What does that sound like? If Pastor Tobin is dancing his face off, what does that sound like? You know what I mean? And that's exciting, but it can be a challenge. But we have a great team, and, I trust them. I follow them as they follow the Lord. You know what I mean? And so it makes it easy because you can trust them. Yeah, I can trust my leaders. I can trust my pastors to jump in and go. But those times when there's nobody thinking nothing, like, oh Lord, what are we going to do in this moment? You know what I mean? That can be challenging, but it's a challenge that I feel like the Lord has graced me to be able to do and handle, and I look forward to it.
So how do you balance being prepared for the set song, but also being prepared for flow? Because that can be kind of a challenging spot to be in when you are directing so many different people.
Well, to be prepared, I learn the material, but I also, in the flow moments, that is where I think we can be most creative. That's why I love sometimes our prayer services and things like that, that there's no pressure. It's way stripped down, and we have a couple songs and we just kind of just jump out there and see where we land at. You know what I mean? And it's fun because you get to be creative. But on a Sunday morning, we're structured. We've learned our material. But the way I prepare is I'm listening beyond the song too. You know what I mean? And when you work with people for so long, me and Pastor Tobin and JoJo, we've worked together for some years now. And so you can kind of got to pick up on things like, I know they like to do this type of thing. So I'm thinking, I try to read their mind almost, get inside their head when I'm preparing, like what can be nice? And if we did this, that can maybe turn the corner here and to make a shift. And so you're kind of listening beyond the song. And then I like to prepare for that too. So even when we get into our sound checks with our band, I go over the possibilities. Like we rehearse, like we could go here. What would this sound like? We could go here. What would this sound like? We may not at all. Then this is where we're going to land at. To give options so when we get in those moments, nobody's caught unaware. It's still fresh and new, but it's not like because it's more than just me. If it was just me playing, I don't have to tell anybody what I want to do. I just know. But when you have a band collectively, you want to be prepared the best you can. So I like to communicate things way out in advance. And there's moments when you're in service where you're just like, hey, dude, play this, you know what I mean? And you guys get there, and then when you land on something, you sit there, you know what I mean? And I can always tell when Pastor Tobin's head starts going, I say, yeah, we're here. When Pastor JoJo starts smiling, I know we're here. When I hear Pastor Kevin shout hallelujah down from the front, I know we're there, you know what I mean? And so just to prepare and listen beyond the song, and then rehearse it. You can rehearse things that you feel like, I'm kind of feeling this may go here, and how can we prepare for it? So if it happens, we're ready to jump straight in.
Well, you do an incredible job of allowing those moments of flow to feel so easy for the leaders that are involved. As one of them myself, you have something in your head sometimes that you feel like you need to go into, and knowing that you have a band that can support that moment it really makes all of the difference. And so we're very grateful to have a team like you guys. And the next question I want to ask you is about, let's say you have a talented musician, however, they're not as well versed in moments of flow. Do you find opportunities to teach them or kind of push them out to the front and expose them more to that? And how would you teach moments like that?
I think sometimes the best teacher is experience. You got to just jump out there. When I was younger, I was afraid of water. I was afraid to swim. They literally picked me up. I was terrified. I thought I was going to go see Jesus right then. They threw me in the water, and of course somebody was there to catch me. So I was like, trust in the Lord. You know what I mean? Somebody got to jump out there. He's going to catch you. I didn't know they were going to catch me. I thought I was about to drown, but they had me. You know what I mean? And after I was in, I seen, this isn't that bad. Sometimes you got to just jump in it. So maybe they could be an incredible player, but don't have, that edge to flow. That's something when you're in the atmosphere, it becomes part of it, almost like prophetic. I'm not just like this get the microphone and start prophesying type of person, but our house is a very prophetic house, and when you're around it for so long, those things start to come alive in you, even though that's not necessarily my gift, but you can operate in things in certain moments. But when you're exposed to it and you're around it, it helps to just sharpen that thing in you. So when it comes to flow and spontaneity, when we get in these services, yes, I'm going to carry the load, but I'm going to give opportunity. Hey, right here, I want you to do this, And so they start to stretch out a little bit, and they say, I can do this. This isn't that bad. You know what I mean? And it starts to sharpen that, and they get a confidence. And then I would almost rather tell people to, hey, pull back some, than have to come on, let's go. You know what I mean? So I like that. And when you see that confidence level get built up in people, you go for it, man, just do it. And there's nothing better, like you said, you serve in our department too, when I can on a Wednesday night sit and receive, and the team is, that to me is such a special thing. You all are incredible and can handle the moment. And I'll tell anybody, if you can play at Redemption, you can go play anywhere. Right. You can. I'm serious, because you'll never know what's going to happen any given service, any given Sunday. And so just being exposed to it, keep doing it. Don't get discouraged, because there's times that I've missed it. Played the wrong note, didn't know the song, started the whole intro wrong, and you feel like, oh God, this is it. This is it. But you got to, it keeps sharp. It keeps you sharp. Keeps you on your toes. It keeps you going and moving. And to see those guys do it and girls do it, it's phenomenal, and it makes your heart happy to watch.
Well, our final question today is if you have any encouragement you want to give to any musicians, MDs, people that are thinking about joining a band, how to be confident in being creative and willing to learn how to also execute things in excellence.
There's no better confidence than being the most prepared person in the room. That's how I like to be. As a musical director, I may not be able to sit and play guitar, like just be no guitar player, but I'm hearing everything that the guitar player is to be doing. So I'm prepared on every instrument to be able to communicate, hey, right here, let's try this, let's try this. And when you can have that, when you walk in, you can be confident in knowing like, hey, there's no curveball that can get thrown my way that I can't knock out of the park. You know what I mean? Be the most prepared, operate in excellence, put your time in, and that's gonna go before anything, your name and your reputation on how you walk in, being on time, being punctual, knowing your material, and then loving people through the process and giving opportunity to others. That is what will set you apart as a musical director that people would respect. And when you walk in, you want people to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna be good today. You know what I mean? And to give your worship pastor or your pastors that feeling of like, hey, it's gonna be a good day today. Prepare, do your homework. So when you come to the table, you can have fun and joke around. There ain't nothing worse than being stressed out walking into a service like, oh, Lord, what is going to happen? So when you're prepared, it just makes everybody feels good. When Pastor Tobin walks in and he has his look like, we going today? It puts me at ease like, oh, we good. We going today. You know what I mean? So being prepared, operating in excellence, hold a high standard for yourself, and love people through the journey.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for joining us, LeBron. It was a great conversation. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. And remember, let's keep it creative.